Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Cooney. So about my senior year of high school, I was studying culinary arts. I was almost finished with my studies, and we had one of the events going, which we sometimes had in culinary arts. We had to come to school late at night to host events, basically to sponsor field trips we did and buy materials. And it's about 9-10 p.m. at this point. And we get a break, basically, because I was working the bar and I got a break. And we go back to the dressing room to change, because there's a rule you can't go outside of the gates in your working attire. And I see a key lying on the sink in the changing rooms. And I recognize whose keys it is, because our friend has a motorcycle. And I recognize it immediately to be his key for his motorcycle. So I pick it up. We go to the teacher and we say like, hey, it's this dude's key. Can you give it back, or do you know where he is so we can give it back since we're on break? He just goes, no, I don't really know where he is, but let's play a prank on him. Just move his bike somewhere and let him search for it when the event ends and he tries to go home. So we're like, sure, we got nothing better to do. We're on break, let's go, let's do it. So the way our campus was set up, you had different buildings for each course, basically. So culinary arts had its own building. The arts department had its own building. The sales department had its own building. So we walk over to the arts building, which behind the art building was the bike rack where his motorcycle is parked at. But the first door's closed. So we go around the side, which has a fence. But you can easily hop the fence, it's not that high. So we go in there. After 5 minutes of just standing there and looking at his motorcycle, we realize, we can't move his bike. Everything's locked because we hopped the fence. So we just dip out, and they were like, let's try to go back through the building. But the way the building is set up, you have two doors, double door. You first enter a door, then you come into a little hallway, and then you have to exit out the second door to actually get back on the campus. And we opened the first door, no problem. Well, I didn't open it. I didn't touch the door, let that be clear. I did not touch any doors. So a friend of mine touches the door, it opens. So we're like, cool, alright. Second door must be open then, since the last door is open. Who wouldn't close two doors to the same building? They lead exactly to the same place. And we push the first door and it's locked. So we're like, okay, thinking nothing of it. Turn around, but you hear something go off. But initially we thought it was just like a car alarm, because that's what it sounded like. It was like a really, you know what a car alarm sounds like. So we just hop back out. And the second we touch the second door, this alarm pops off. This alarm was loud as shit. We actually had to cover our ears because it was actually that loud. So we just start panicking and bolting out the back door, through the bike rack and hop in the fence. Suddenly the janitor pops out. I have no idea why that dude was still there. I have zero clue why that dude was still there. And 3 cleaning ladies also came out. They popped out of nowhere. They suddenly came out of a building. Why are you there at 9-10 p.m.? So they started yelling at us, because they caught us, obviously. And the cleaning lady saw us first, so they held us back. They blocked us, if you will. And the janitor comes running up to us, well, limping up to us. He had a little limp. It looked pretty funny, but it was not really a moment to laugh at this dude, because he was pissed. The moment he reaches us, this dude pops off. He starts yelling at us, saying we're gonna get in a whole bunch of trouble, we're gonna get expelled, we're gonna have so much punishment on our hands, we're not gonna see one break again. So this dude was mad. I presumed he was really mad. Mind you, I didn't touch anything. This wasn't actually my fault. I was just there. The two guys, the one guy who opened the door, who triggered the alarm, the other guy was just there with me, just casually walk off. The janitor and the cleaning lady say nothing of it. They just casually walk off. So they keep screaming at me. Now I have 4 people screaming at me for something I did not do. So it's like whatever. I'm just thinking in my head, okay, they walked off. Lucky them, but still fuck them. I'll just hang on to this, and then when we get to the building, they'll probably hand me over to a teacher or something, and I'll just explain what happened then. No. I wish that was what was happened. They take me to the front gate, which I initially thought was, that's weird. Why not just hand me over to one of my teachers? So Dakins called me. Suddenly a van pulls up, a black van pulls up. So I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? Apparently the alarm in the building is connected to a security company. So the security company actually came over, geared as hell, thinking there was an actual robbery taking place in our school, and they were ready to fuck someone up. I mean, they had bulletproof vests, they had the whole lot, they had everything. I'm terrified at this point because I don't know how these security guards are gonna react. So they walk up to me and I walk up to them. We kind of meet in the middle. So I explained to these security people, geared as hell, waiting for something to happen. Look, this is all a misunderstanding. We were actually trying to play a prank to move a motorcycle of our buddies, and we tried to go back to our building where the event was at, where we should have been. And I was ready for the worst. I thought they were like gonna yell at me and like, you made us come all the way out here for this. This is a joke, yada yada yada. The whole riffraff. These dudes, to my biggest surprise, just look at me. There was 5 of them. They just look, all at big ass dudes, mind you. They all 5 just look at me, and they're like, "Oh, cool," and they turn around, get back in their van, just leave. They didn't even double check the building or anything. They didn't do shit. They just left, and I was just standing there in disbelief, like, "Oh my god. What just happened?" I actually thought I was gonna get scolded. The police was getting called. All these thoughts were running through my head. I was so terrified. So basically, I just walked back to the general and free cleaning ladies because there's like a gate you have to go through to enter our school. And we're standing there. Just look at me and just go like, "So, what did he say?" With big ass attitude. I don't even know why. It's like they caught me red-handed. I didn't do anything. And I just say, yeah, I explained it to them. They just left. It's nothing really. They didn't really say anything of it. I'm like, okay, we're gonna hand you over to your teacher now. I'm like, okay, sure. Because I knew the teacher was cool with me. I knew, first of all, he was the one who set it up. He was the one who set us up to do it. So they hand me back to the teacher. Basically, the teacher just tells the cleaning ladies and the janitor off, like, hey, this was my idea. It's kind of my fault they did it. Their stupidity for opening the door, but it was my responsibility. So, and basically they just walk off, and the teacher just says to me like, "Oh, you guys are really dumb, you know." We're just, yeah, we know. And they're like, "Okay, just wanted you to know." And he just went back to work and just let us go. Chillest reaction I could have gotten out of him. I thought I would have to, like, you know, smooth him out a little bit. But no, he just let us go. Moral of the story, don't mess with other people's stuff, because karma is a bitch. Alright guys, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video, and god damn!